Hey guys, this is Eve with Scrapbooking with Me, and we're going to start on the recipe book, the add-on for September. Now, this is going to be a flip recipe book. We're going to use these little rings to put in there. That way you can keep adding to the book as you want to. You can either flip it over the top or you can flip it to the side, whichever way you want to. Mine is probably going to flip over the top, but you can do it either way. It doesn't matter. Now you got 2 pieces of 6x6 chipboard in your kit. And then you also got some brown cardstock of different sizes. You just need to cut 2 pieces of the brown cardstock down to 7x7. And then what I have done is on this one, I went ahead and marked a 1/2 inch down this side and across the bottom. There you go. I think you can see that right there. I normally do that so that I know exactly where I'm going to put that piece and I can get it nice and straight like that. And then that still gives me enough to fold over. So we're going to put this piece down. Now I'm going to use score tape to put mine down with. You can use liquid glue if you want to. It doesn't matter. I just like score tape on this because I know it sticks really well and it doesn't buckle. So that's why I use it. And all of the links to the products that I am using will be below. I think just about everything is in the store. We also have probably 4 or 5 more of the recipe book kits if you would want one. We have some of those still in stock. So I will link those below as well if you want to get those. All the written instructions, PDFs, photos, videos, everything will be out there for all of you who purchased the kit to have access to. That way you can make yours exactly like we do, or you can make it just on your own. It's up to you. I tried to give you everything that you would need in the kit. So you should have plenty of items to make your cookbook with. Alright, let's put that down right there. Now I'm going to take my tool here and I'm going to go around the edges just as if we was making a regular photo album. That's what we're doing. Okay, just like that. Then I'm just going to fold that over, pressing the chipboard down on the top here. And this will probably take me more than one video, so hopefully you will be okay with that. I don't think I'll be able to get everything in one video. I can try, but I just don't want it to be 2 or 3 hours long. So I'd rather give you a good starting point and then come back and finish it up in another video. So all we're doing is just cutting the corners. Now when you cut your corners, make sure that you leave at least 1/8 of an inch from the tip of your chipboard out, so that when you fold that over, you're not going to have a raw chipboard showing. Now if you didn't cut it exactly like you need it to cover your corners, this one I got a little bit carried away on. I'm going to show you 2 different ways that you can solve that without having to have your chipboard showing. One, you can take a marker that is the same color of your paper and you can just color that chipboard there and then cover the little edges. Then when you fold that over, so you can't see any white chipboard. And then another tip is that little piece that you cut off for that corner, just put it right out to the end of that chipboard. I'll show you. I'll go ahead and get my glue. And you can do this on all your corners anyway, whether you think that the chipboard's going to show or not. This just helps protect it a little bit more. See, I'm just putting that little tip right out to the end of that chipboard and covering that. And then when you fold this over, you've got paper showing as well, and you don't have any chipboard showing. So you could go ahead and do this on all of your corners if you wanted to. Just save those little pieces that you cut out here and put right here. See, I think the other ones of mine are going to be fine, so I'm going to leave those. But that's just a couple of tips on how to make sure your corners are looking good. Now I'm going to use my score tape here as well. Here again, you can use your art glitter glue or another tape that you prefer. And just pull the backing off, fold those over. And see that one where it was a little short? Can't even tell. You can see my tape glistening there. So I'll fold my tape back under. There we go. But now you can't even tell that there's not paper all the way there. So just a couple of quick tips to help you along. Okay, so there are our corners. Looks nice, doesn't it? Okay, now we're going to go ahead and cover this one the same way, and then we'll come back and we'll put the insides on those. So our mats for the inside right here are going to be cut at 5 7/8 by 5 7/8, and I'm going to use this one for the front cover inside. For the inside of the front cover, I should say. I love that side too, but I think I'm going to put the cows down. And that's just going to leave a small border all the way around the inside. Then on the back one, we're going to put this one. It's cut the same size, 5 7/8 by 5 7/8. And then for the outside covers, I think I'm going to use this one on the front. Now I cut these at 5 3/4 by 5 3/4 because I wanted a little bit more of that brown to show. So I think I'm going to use that one on the front. That to me looks a little bit more like a recipe book. And then I'm going to use this one on the back cover. I like that garden, pickles, preserves. So I'm just going to make sure I have it on the right one. There we go. And there is the back cover. So we now have the front and the back. I'll make sure I put those the right way up. Yep, I did. So we have the front and the back ready to go. Now you got 20 of these recipe cards and they came, you know, not trimmed. So you'll need to go ahead and trim them out. We didn't trim all of them because it would have just took me way too long. So we left them like this. So just go ahead and trim them out. This is a good stamping paper. It's Nina cardstock, so you can go ahead and save these and use them to stamp on if you want to. So go ahead and trim these out. Get your covers covered, and then we're going to come back and we're going to start putting everything together. Okay, you should have your covers trimmed out and then all of your little recipe cards trimmed. Now I trimmed mine. I trimmed the side down to where these red lines stopped, and then I trimmed off that little piece on the bottom. Let me show you. I trimmed that off of mine because I'm actually going to use that on the bottom of my pages, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that in just a moment. But we did this, got those covered. Now we need to punch some holes in here. Now you need to decide if you want to put yours to where the pages will flip open like this, or as I'm going to do mine, they flip up like this. So I'm going to have mine to flip up. This is the front. So what I've done is I've measured in 1 3/4 inches from each side. So 1 3/4 on both sides. And then from the top, I have come down 3/8 of an inch, and I've made a little mark right there and a little mark right there. Okay, now that is where I'm going to poke my hole. Now I'm going to use the big side of my crocodile. If you don't have a crocodile, you can use a regular hole punch, whatever. But I'm going to use my crocodile, and I'm going to center that up where that hole is. I'm just going to poke through there. And your crocodile should punch all the way through. No problem. Center that up and poke through there. Now I'm going to go ahead and mark the back. So this is my back. Let's see, I was having that for the outside, this for the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and put them together really well like that. And then I'm just going to draw a circle in there so that I know where to punch these out, so that they'll be even from front and back. There we go. And there we go. All right, that should be really, really even, and it is. Shows right straight through there. Now I'm going to put some of these hole reinforcers around the holes there. This a little bit more for decoration than anything, because these holes are not going to rip out since they go through that chipboard. But I'm just going to do that to give it a little bit extra look, I think. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little finger dauber that we got in the August kits, and I'm just going to go over these and color them brown. So it doesn't matter what color hole reinforcers you get. I usually just buy the white and then color them what color I want. To me, that's better than buying a bunch of different colors and then having some that you'll never use. So all I'm going to do, now the crocodile punches the hole a little bit smaller than what these hole reinforcers are. That's fine with me. I don't mind that at all. Alright, now we're going to make 4 to go on this back side here. And you can color these any color you want. You don't have to do brown. You can color them red, you can color them whatever color you want. And if you don't have ink, you can color them with a magic marker or colored pencils, just whatever. They hold color well. Okay, let's do 2 more. And you don't even have to do this if you don't want to. You don't have to put these reinforcers on there. Alright, so there is that. So we've got that on there. Now I'm going to lay these aside for a little while, and we're going to work on our pages. Alright, this is the last page that I have left. I've already done some of my pages just to save some time, but I'm going to show you exactly how I did all of them. Now I took my page, and this is the top of my page here. So what I'm going to do is go to the bottom. I'm going to use my ruler, and I'm going to come up 1 3/4 inch, and I'm going to make a little line. I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to come up 1 3/4 inch and make a little line. Alright, then I have cut out of the brown paper that came in the kit, I have cut some strips that are 1 inch wide by 6 1/4 inches long. On the long side, you're going to score at 1/4 inch on both ends. So 1/4 here, 1/4 there. Score that, fold those under. This is going to be your glue portion. You're going to glue here and glue right down through here and then glue here. And I'll show you how this is going to lay down. We're going to use our art glitter glue. That way we can move it around if we need to. So put some glue there. Put glue right down through here, just as close to that edge as you can get. And if you need to use double-sided tape, just make sure that it's a really thin one. You don't want anything thick here because you need part of that room there. Don't put any glue on the top side. Don't put glue there. All right, now we're going to find our marks right there and right there. And I know you can't see those, but just take my word for it, they're there. What we're going to do is lay this down where the bottom of this brown paper comes right on those lines, right there. And then we're just going to press that down. Press it down at the bottom and on the sides. You get my bone folder. You're going to press it down all the way across here and then on the sides. Now what you have done, get that glue off. What you have done here is you've created a little pocket, just a tiny one, and these are going to sit right down in that pocket just like that. Now after you fill these in, you can laminate them. They're still going to slide down in that pocket and they're not going to fall out because that pocket is tight enough that it's going to hold them. Okay. Now we want to put two. I want to put two to page. If you don't want two to a page, you can do yours any way you want. You can just leave this off and glue one down on the page. You can just put this on the page and put one down. But I wanted 2 cards on each of my pages. That way I can get more cards in here. So I'm going to put another one at the bottom. I'm going to show you. You're still going to be able to see and tell what you've got. Now this one is going to go right even with the bottom. It's going to go right up to the bottom. No gap, no nothing. So glue that down right at the bottom. Again, we left the top open. I'm going to take my little mono eraser and erase that glue I got right there. There we go. Alright, so see, we've got that one glued down at the bottom. Now we can put one up here and one down here. You can sit them even, and then you have got 2 cards per page, and then we're going to put 2 cards on the back of it too. Okay, all right, so let's pull those back out. Now this little strip that I told you that I cut off of the bottom of those cards, what I'm going to do is take this and run it right across the bottom just like that, just to kind of break up that brown just a little bit. Again, this is something that you don't have to do. This is just the way I'm doing mine. I just thought it looked good and it saved me from throwing this little piece away. So, and you can always leave this piece on your card. That's just up to you. This is just me showing you what I'm doing. This is not me telling you that this is what you have to do. You can make these cookbooks any way that you want. I'm just giving you ideas and materials. Alright, so we got that one on. We're going to flip it over. Now make sure that you flip it the right way over so that you get both of your little strips on the same area. Okay, or going the same way, I should say. So we marked 1 3/4 inches up. We got our little marks there. I've got more of my little pieces. 1 inch strip by 6 1/4. I scored it 1/4 of an inch on each end. All of these measurements will be in the written instructions, and I will leave that link below in the video. Okay, we put a little bit of glue there. We're going to lay this down right on the bottom of this is right even with those marks that we just made. Not the top, but the bottom. Now we're going to go ahead and press it down well. Our Teflon bone folder. So see, we've got one on that side, one on that side, and they match up. Now we've got one more. We're going to put the bottom here. Okay, let's slide that one over a little bit. There we go. Alright, let's press that down. Okay, now there again, your cards are going to sit right in there, just like that. 2 cards on both sides. Okay, Now, what we're going to do now is we have a little piece that is cut. This piece is cut at 1.5 inches by 5 3/4. On the 1.5 inch side, you're going to score right down the center. So you're going to score at 3/4 inch, and then fold and burnish your score line. And what this is going to do is this is going to go at the top and I'm putting mine at the top to reinforce where I'm going to poke my holes. If you don't want to put your holes at the top, you could leave this off completely, but this just reinforces where I punch my holes so that the hole doesn't go just through the paper. It goes through all 3 thicknesses, and it makes it a lot easier to hold. So when I'm flipping that back and forth, I've got some strength there. Now what I did is I measured how tall. I took my covers and I measured just how tall I could make my pages, because I didn't want them to be exactly as tall as this. I wanted them to be 5 3/4 inches, and I wanted all of them to be the same. Now, if you're like me, sometimes I cut exactly straight and exactly on the mark, and sometimes I don't. So in order to get my pages all exactly the same, what I did after I made the first one and made sure that it was 5 3/4 inches, then I took this, and you can see there's a gap there. Let's see if you can, let me put something under it so you can see it. See, there's a difference in this one and this one. So I need to bring this one up a little bit. I need to make it higher. So the way I can do that is when I put this in there and fold it down, I can do it just like that, and it brings those exactly the same height. This is just a little addition piece that helps you adjust whether you need it a little bit higher or not. Now, you might have yours exactly cut right, and that's great. You may not need this piece on yours, but I am notorious about cutting some of mine the right height, some of them not. I get busy or I get on a call or something, and all of a sudden my cutting goes crazy. So I found that this is the easier way to make sure that mine are the same height. See, all I'm doing is just holding it up to that other one and adjusting. When I get it just right, then I'm just going to press that down. Now I'm going to take it over to this side, and I'm going to do the same thing. I want to make sure when I fold that down that it's going to be the same height. There we go, right there. And then I can press it down. So I press that back side down. Now I'm just going to put glue on the front side and glue it over. And you'll see that, I'll show you in just a second. I adjusted that about 1/4 inch. From my fold line to the top of my paper is about 1/4 inch that I had to adjust. And that's going to make all of my pages the same height. So let's see. There we go. They're the same height. And these are just some pages that I've already done. I've already put my cards in, put my little strips on the bottom. So let's put the strip on the bottom of this. There we go. And then I have to trim it off just a tiny bit right there. So there we go. Now make sure that this piece is at the top and not the bottom. So you've got your little openings up here so you can put your cards in there. So let's go ahead and put our cards in here. And we'll put this one in there. And you should have enough cards and pages for 20 different cards if you're doing it like this. Now I messed up one of my pages, and I'm going to show you how I messed it up, but I'm going to fix it. But I'm just not going to fix it on the video right now. What I did is I put this upside down. See, here's my top up here, and I put that upside down. So I'm going to easily take that off, hopefully. I'm going to slide my little knife up under there and take that off and turn it around and put it down here where it belongs. When I flipped it over, I got busy on the phone, and I ended up flipping it this way. So I put it wrong. So I just need to turn it around and drop it down here. But I'm going to do that later. Right now I've got enough pages that I can show you what I'm doing. So I've got all of these done. You can see I've got more cards to put in that side. There we go. Let's see, I've got that one marked. I don't have my cards in these yet. I've still got to trim out a few more cards. I had to print me some because I actually sent all of them that I had printed to you guys, so I've got to print a few more for myself. Alright, then if I hold them up like this, all of them are the same height. So if I put them on here, let's just pretend this is the inside. And I'm going to push mine up just like that. See, I've still got a little bit of room at the bottom, so they're not sticking out the bottom, because there's the bottom of that. And then I've got them right up at the top where the hole is going to go. So everything should be even. And I've kind of evened them up from side to side. I've got a little bit of space over here, maybe 3/8 of an inch, and a little bit of space over here. So that's how I did mine. Now, if you want to adjust yours differently, if you want more room in there, you can trim the pages down more. Just make it yours, whatever you want to do with it. Like I said, this is an idea. Right, I'm going to go ahead, since I've got my holes punched in there, I'm going to go ahead and punch my holes in my pages. Now I'm going to take my cards out, or at least the top cards, to do this, because I don't want to accidentally let one of my cards slide up and punch a hole in it. So what I have done with this, let me grab a cover here. I have taken the cover and I have put this on my cover just exactly where I want it to go. So I've kind of evened it up from side to side, about the same amount of room over here as over here. I've made sure that it's got about that same amount of room at the bottom. And see, mine, since I'm flipping mine over, the tops on all of mine need to be even. So I've just made this even up here. And then I can go in, let's make sure that I've got it about right. There we go. Then I can flip this over and go in over here and mark the center of my hole. So there we go, right there. I need my hole there and there. So let's go ahead and poke this. And I have to get it where I can hold it pretty even and tight. Ooh, I'm going to have to make that pencil mark a little darker. I can't see it. Okay. Alright, so there are our first ones punched. So if we lay those together, you'll see that my opening is the same. And then if we put these in there, we've got everything even. Now I'm going to go ahead and color my hole reinforcers, because I'm definitely going to use them on this. Because this is just paper. Even though it's 3 layers, it's just paper. So what we're going to do, so we're going to ink that up, and then I'm just going to color all of them. I'm just going to color all of mine brown. Again, you could make them whatever color you want. You could change the colors up depending on your page. I'm just going to color all of mine brown. And this is Vintage Photo. There we go. And you don't have to put these on here. Again, this is just something that I'm doing. And I may have to adjust them just a little bit down. There we go. And this is probably not going to show that much, but it'll just help protect. Okay, so there are my hole reinforcers in that. And now I'm just going to take another page, take the cards out of it. I'm going to lay this page exactly even, making sure that both sides are even, the top is even. And then again, I'm going to mark the center of my little opening there. I'm going to mark those on all of my pages, and then I'm going to poke the holes and do the same thing I did to this one. Okay, we've got all of those holes punched in there and our hole reinforcers put on. Now it's just a matter of deciding which pages you want to come first. And I think I might have this one first, maybe that one second, that one third. You can always change them around, it doesn't really matter, but just gonna put them in this way. And then I've got the rings for you big enough that you should be able to put lots more in here along the way, because those are, I think, 1.5 inch rings. So you should be able to put more, and I give you 3 rings. If you only use 2 like me, that's fine, you've got an extra one. But if you want to put 3 in there, you can. Now I'm gonna stick mine through, and then all you have to do to these is just clip them. And I'm gonna stick it through over here. There we go. And then we're going to clip it. So I've got my rings on there, and I know it looks huge right now, but I'm going to be adding more pages to mine, so I wanted lots of room. But if I want to flip these back and look at this first recipe card without taking it out, I can just do mine like that and it stands up. I don't have to worry about trying to stand it on something. I can just open it up and it stands. And then I can just look at the recipe card while I make my food. So I like that part. And they're going to flip just like this. And then if I want to look at a recipe card that's over here, I can just flip my book around and stand it up just like that. And I have got my recipe card up where I want it. Now what I'm going to do, and I'm sorry about the clicking on my desk. I'm going to try to hold it up for you. Now what I'm going to do is put my little tabs that we got, I'm going to put them on the side of my pages instead of at the bottom, or I can't put them at the top. So I'm just going to put mine on the side. That way I can put my labels on the side, look down through here, and just flip open to what I want. I was trying to decide if I want to put them on now or wait. I'll go ahead and put some of mine on now, and then when I add other pages, of course, I'll just add pages into that particular area. So all you do is just fold these in half, and then one side of this cardstock is smooth and the other side is a little bit rough. So if you want to write on this, you can use the smooth side to put out. I'm probably going to get my daughter to write on mine. I'm going to get Melina to write on them because she writes a lot better than me. And I'm going to put mine on before I write on them because I've got to decide what I want to put in each one of these. So see, there's my first one, and I'm just going to skip a couple of pages. Maybe that'll be 4 recipes. Let's just skip 3 pages. And then I'm going to bring this one on down, and I'm going to hold this back over just so I can see where I want to lay that one. So let's see. I want to put that one right there. I just want to give just enough room between them that I can see each tab, just like that. Okay, So let's fold that back over. I'm going to mark just a little tiny mark up there where the top of that will go. Then again, I'm just going to put my glue on the inside here. And then we'll press that down right there. Now these little edges on the, you can see these little edges right here, they come to the edge of your paper, and that makes it, the edge of your paper should go right down through there. So just like that. So there's that one. Now let's skip 3 pages. And we will mark this one. So let's go ahead and lay this on there where we want it. I want that one right about there. I'm going to hold that and make a little mark right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and take that card out just while I'm working on this. Then I'm just going to put that right there. Okay, and then of course I think you got 10 of these little tabs, so you can just keep adding wherever you want to add your tabs. That's strictly up to you. Okay, so there are my tabs. Now you got some trim in your kit as well, and I think everybody got some of this in their kit. It's just a kind of a tan color because I didn't want to go too far out with a lot of different colors because I really didn't know what you liked or what you wanted. So you can just go into your ribbon stash and pull out some different ribbons, even different textures, and put on here if you want to. I'm just grabbing a few different colors that kind of match, and then I'm just going to tie these around one of my rings. There we go, got that tied around the ring, and I could actually make those a little bit smaller if I wanted to. Let's see, let's just do that and we can put some on both sides. So all I'm going to do is cut these in half. So I probably gave you a yard or a little more, so you will have enough to go on both of the rings. And then some, probably. There we go, got that. I'm just going to slide it that way a little bit and then cut this little bad piece off right there. And then we'll take this one and put it over here. You can burn the ends of your lace just to make sure that it doesn't fray. Okay, then you got some little charms in your kit. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit to the front. Now I've got a piece of red that matches this. Just use whatever cardstock you have. I know you've got plenty of scraps, so just pull out a scrap that goes with this paper. It's got lots of different colors in it. But I'm going to use this, and I cut it at 1 inch by 5 3/4, and I'm going to put it across the front right here. And I'm not even going to measure, I'm just going to kind of pull it in somewhere right there. Let's see if that's pretty even. Looks pretty good. And then I've got a piece, this piece is cut at 4 1/4 by 2 1/4, and then this piece is cut at 4 by 2. And I'm going to glue those together and mat those right there on the top. Now I can still seal this. I can seal it with Collage Podge, which is what I use. You can spray it with a sealer if you want to, or you can, before you put these rings in here, you can run all this through your laminator and laminate it. I don't know if your laminator will take the chipboard or not. Mine will, but some of them won't. So don't take my word that you can put it through the laminator, but you can go to someplace like Walmart or Office Max and you can buy those sheets that are laminating sheets that you don't have to have any heat for. You just put the page in there and press it down and it laminates it for you. So you can do that if you want to. Or you can leave it just as is. Mine will get really nasty if I don't, because I am a messy cook. I don't know about anybody else, but I'm a pretty messy cook, so I'll have to do some sealing on mine. Alright, we got that on there. And then I've got just these thickers that I have had forever and a day. Pardon the crinkling. So I'm going to use some of these. And it doesn't matter what colors, because this sheet has got just about every color in it. I'm going to lay these on here. I'm not going to stick them down yet. And I'm going to put Nene's Cookbook, because my grandkids call me Nene. N-A. And they just spell it N-A-N-A. I know there's probably 1,000 other ways that it could be spelled, but I'm going to go by the way my grandkids do. Alright. Bring that on down there. And I'll look at that first and see if that looks about right. Okay, I like that. And see, it goes, all of these colors go with what's in the background. So now let's do Cookbook. Okay, and I'm just laying my Tim Holtz ruler down here to get this straight. Okay, so there is Nene's Cookbook. I'll lay these aside. And then you got some stickers in your kit. I don't know what stickers you got. We had a bunch of different sheets and we just kind of divided them out and put stickers in different ones. So hopefully you got a little bit of variety. I'm going to put probably an avocado right here, because I like me some avocado. And then let's see, oh, I love bananas, so let's put a banana on here. Just lay it across like this. There's our banana. And then I like green apples. My family don't, but I love green apples. I like Granny Smiths. So we're going to put one of those right there, and I'll save the other ones for the inside. And now I'm going to put my little utensils on here, and I'm going to put them, I'm going to put one right there. I've got a little spoon and a little spatula, and I'm going to put one just like that. So I'm going to use some of my art glitter glue. Now you could probably use hot glue on this, because this is metal, but I think my art glitter glue will hold it. It'll just take it a little bit to dry. So I'm just going to lay that down and just lay that one down there. I'm not going to try to even them up. I just want them to look like they just dropped there. Alright, now I'm going to take some of this twine. This is just some twine I have in my stash. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing you what I'm going to do. I'm going to make this look a little bit more vintage. I like to mix and match the textures on the outside. So we're just going to hold that down for a second. I'm just running it right at the edge of my label here. So we're going to run some down this side. Okay, so we have that around there so you can see it. And then I'm going to try to tie a little bow with this. Then I'm just going to glue this right here where I put the two together. Now, what would my cookbook be if I didn't put some bling on there? It wouldn't be my cookbook, would it? So what I'm going to do is use our little pickup tool. And I'm just going to put some in some random areas. Not going to plan it out. Just kind of put some in different areas. And even some different colors. And I've just got some red and blue and different colors on here. Put that one right there where it says rooster. Put it in the O. And let's see. Let's put a white one up here somewhere, or cream colored. And then we'll anchor this with some of these little blue ones, I think. Let's just put one there. One there. One right there. And one right there. And that just kind of anchors that. And I think that's all I'm going to do to the front. But I think that's super cute. And see, I can pass this on down to my grandkids. I'm going to put my favorite recipes in here. I'm going to sign my cards. And then when I'm long gone, hopefully my grandkids will be able to take this little book, open it up, and find that Nene has left them some little recipes that they can go by. Hopefully they'll still be cooking then. I don't know. You know how that goes. But I will use my stickers, my bling, and all of that to decorate on the inside of my cookbook. And put all of the rest of my cards in there. And then I'm going to be adding more pages to mine too. Now, I'm not going to use the same paper to add more pages. I can add more pages with anything that I have, anything that has some of these same colors in it. So if you don't have any more of the paper, as I don't, I've used mine on here, then just take some paper that matches closely, you know, that has the red, the yellows. You could even use solid cardstock and just decorate it all up and put it in here to keep adding pages. I've got lots of room, so I'm going to add lots more pages to mine. Alright guys, that is it for our September add-on. I hope you enjoyed this. I enjoyed this little book. As I said in my comment on the blog, I didn't realize I was going to like this so much, but I absolutely love it. I love how it stands up on my counter, so when I'm cooking, I'll be able to just stand it up and see my recipe card, or I can just pull my recipe card out and put it on the counter, use it, and then put it back in there. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. We do have a few of these kits left. I think there's probably maybe 4 of these kits left. If you want one, I will put that link directly below. You can go over and grab it. Make sure you go fast, because usually by the time I put these videos up good, they're gone. So if you want one of those, go over and check and see if they're still available. I think we have like 4 while I'm videoing this, but who knows. The link to the PDF for the cards and for these little tabs and anything else that I think needs a PDF will be at the link below. It will say blog post. All of the written instructions are there. All of the measurements are there, photos, and it'll have links to the videos. So make sure that you go check that link out. Really looking forward to our October e-club kit and the add-on. That add-on is going to be showing up here very shortly, and it is going to be, I think, something that everybody is going to love. And the October e-club kit is, oh my goodness, out of this world, fantastic. The November kit is going to be your Christmas kit. Now, I had some people who said, I don't want themed kits. I try not to do themed kits, but the November kit is going to be geared a little bit more toward Christmas. It's going to have Christmas paper, but the paper is a type Christmas paper that if you don't do Christmas, you can use that paper for something else. So you don't have to use it for Christmas. You don't have to observe Christmas in order to get this kit. Now, I will tell you this, our kits are running out. If you want to be in the e-club kit membership, make sure that you go to the link below and sign up so that you'll be guaranteed an October and November kit, because they are going fast, and it's limited to how many kits I can put together based on the paper that I get, because they're limiting me on the paper because they're stopping manufacturing some of them. So you know how that goes with these manufacturers. So make sure that you go check those links out, and we will talk to you guys later. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you to all of you who purchased this kit. I really appreciate it, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Bye-bye.